Good morning, everyone, to the another session of CA Speakers Forum. We are on to our 21st session, and we express our deep gratitude to each one of you for being here with us on this Saturday morning, which is quite a busy Saturday for chartered accountants living in Dubai. And you have taken out time. That is important for us, and that's why a deep gratitude. A deep gratitude to our speaker, CA Verna Pinto, our esteemed speaker. She is here with us today, and on a topic which is of deep interest for each one of us. On a topic which is in significant demand, and there had been so many requests I received to do a session on e-invoicing, because last what we did was in February or beginning of March. So it has been long time since we did a session on e-invoicing, and in the evolving taxation environment, this e-invoicing is critical for each one of us, because it's critical not only that it's for compliance, but it's also to see that how we can shape our digital transformation, how we can make a significant difference in the processes within our organization and stay compliant, stay ahead, and make a significant difference to our organization. And the person who is here to talk on this topic is CA Verna. You know that. And Verna is a qualified chartered accountant. She has decades of experience as a qualified chartered accountant, has lived in many countries, and has experienced the different working environments, whether it be a finance or as a consultant in so many countries of the world. And that makes her experience very unique, and that can help us significantly to also become aware of how the things may be shaping in the other countries, or what we can learn from the experiences, the relevant experiences from other countries. She is new to UAE just a little more than 2 years. And when she asked me that, when I invited her to speak, she gave me two topics. And one was to stay ahead, stay relevant on the skills, and the second was e-invoicing. And as I was waiting for e-invoicing to be scheduled, I didn't took a second to decide that, okay, this is e-invoicing is the session which we want to do on this Saturday on 11th of July. Thank you, Verna. Thank you so much for being here with us today. Before I completely hand over the screen to you, and one thing which I need is I request everyone to present here to please give a warm welcome to Verna. Use the emojis on your screen. Thank you so much. Thank you, Verna. A warm welcome to you. Before I completely hand over to you, what would be your quick 30 seconds opening remark for this session, please?
Yeah, thank you so much, Prabhdeep. I'm very honored that you had asked me, a newcomer in UAE, to talk about this topic. So I had to do a little bit of research, and I'm hoping that I do justice to today's session. I would speak more on the practical angle of embracing e-invoicing here in the UAE, being so many months from the first two sessions. So thank you very much for having me, and I look forward to making my presentation.
Thank you so much, Verna. So I request everyone to please sit back, relax, be here with us until the end of the session. Verna, the screen is all yours. Thank you.
Is my screen visible?
Yes, perfect. Yeah, please.
Okay. So, good morning to everyone. And I'm Verna Pinto, like you know. I have traveled in three countries: Egypt, Ghana, Nigeria, and now in UAE. So, you know, I'm fairly new to UAE. However, I have tried my best to see that I can uh, put some light on certain topics that were not discussed by the previous two speakers. We've had amazing two speakers, and I would like to know if any one of you is actually listening to the e-invoicing for the first time, because based on that, I will be able to know how to pace this webinar. So there are a few that have just said that it's their first time, and we can go according to just quickly brief on the basics. I'm having problem with moving to the next slide, Prabdeep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I'll just stop sharing and share again.
yeah, yeah.
I think this is stuck for me for some reason.
Uh, oh, if you want, Vinay, you can continue with this session and maybe send me your presentation. I
No,
can
how
run
do
through.
I cannot even see you. I just
Uh, no, I can. If you send me the presentation, I can run from it. I can share it, and then I can change the slides as you asked me to do. Or the other thing what we can do is you can run through your presentation without sharing it on the screen, and we will share that with the audience in the chat box.
it might be difficult to for them to also see. So I'm just 1 minute going back again. Are you able to see it
Yeah,
now?
yes. Yeah, yeah, it's loading. Yeah, just yeah.
Okay. Because I don't want to disrupt anything, is it okay if I can present it this way?
Yeah, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. You can go ahead.
Okay. So let's just straight away start with the basics and understand what is e-invoicing. So e-invoicing has become mandatory here in the UAE, and it is an automated system which is used for issuing, transmitting, reporting invoices and credit notes in a structured machine readable electronic format that enables automatic processing. So, as we all know, we are sending PDF files or we are sending Word documents as invoices as on today. Some companies have managed to advance. However, come 1st of January 2027, all companies having revenue more than or equal to 50 million AED will have to use e-invoicing, followed by phase 2, phase 3, which are to come. So the ministerial decision of 243 of 2025 states that all e-invoices and electronic credit notes must be exchanged through the UAE e-invoicing system and reported to the Federal Tax Authority, FTA, via a accredited service provider. Now, what is an accredited service provider? Let me tell you a little story. Two friends met, college friends met after many years. And while talking to each other, they were talking about their families and their extended families. One friend said to another, you know, I have a beautiful niece and I'm looking for a great match. The other friend said, it's almost coincidental that I have a very good nephew, eligible bachelor, looking for a great match. Now it so happens that they really want this match to happen. So they said, let's keep it simple. Let's keep everything in such a way that, you know, these days it's hard to kind of get a right match. So everything was decided. The girl's family, the boy's family, they met together, but nothing was allowed to be misunderstood. It was a very simple process where both these friends really helped to make things happen. The girl and the boy were finally married. Now, why am I telling you this story? Is because these two friends are now your ASPs. They are going to bring the supplier and the buyer together through their automated system with standardized inputs so that the right kind of information flows through them from the supplier to the buyer through the ASPs to the final FTA. As we spoke about the phases that we have, the first phase is for entities where the sales or the total turnover is equal to or more than 50 million AED. As recently as possible, the date for appointing an ASP was initially 31st of July 2026, but there has been an amendment, which is number 244 of 2025. They had announced that in May of 2026, Ministry of Finance had targeted the amendment to extend this date to the 30th of October 2026, not 31st, 30th of October. And these will have to go live on the 1st of January. In phase 2, those entities which are having less than 50 million AED must appoint their ASP by the 31st of March 2027 and go live by July 2027. In phase 3, which are government companies, their date is 31st March 2027 and they must go live by 1st of October 2027. Now, what is PEPAL? Open PEPAL is a non-profit organization which has been founded in Belgium. And the meaning of PEPAL is Pan-European Public Procurement Online. Now, here was a system that has been there for a few years, starting with Belgium and going all around the European countries. where their procurements and other contracts were being done online, where they had standardized codes for different identifiers within their invoices. So that made it streamlined. And looking at this, the UAE government has also decided to take shelter and make this their own digital platform. But the PayPal had a four corner model. UAE is now going to go in for a five corner model. Now, what is this? Now, generally, when you have an invoice, you would have your buyer's detail, seller's detail, VAT detail, tax details, your addresses, and all of them written the way you understand and the government would probably understand prior. But now there will be a 51 data points that you will have to supply if you are paying tax. There will be a 49 data point if it is a commercial invoice. And in total, PayPal has 248 data points. So, which will encompass any and every type of different types of transactions. And that is why we have to refer to the 16 used cases. So, whether it is a standard VAT, whether it is a reverse charge, whether it is a self invoicing practice, whether there's a tax credit, all of them will form use cases, whether it's an export invoice, where you have to prove that it's an export with zero tax. So, what did the UAE do? There is a certain PINT AE billing, which you can find online, wherein it has all these fields that I'm talking about, the 51 data points and 49 data points, total of 248 data points, within which each company will have to take the help of the PINT AE billing, look at their own accounts for today, their own invoice today, and see how each and every transaction of theirs within the invoice requirement matches the PINT AE billing. Now, for all business users within UAE, the PayPal identity code would start with 0235. As in, however, UAE phone numbers have a plus 971. When you get this PayPal identity, you will have 0235 as your code. Going forward with the future slides, I will show you how even reverse charges and self-invoicing happens on this platform. Now, this is a very standardized five-corner model, which I needed to show you all. If you look carefully, in a non-standardized format, it was simply a seller and a buyer, right? A supplier and a buyer. With the PayPal, which is standardized, you will have two additional people. You remember the two friends I was talking about? Yes, so they are ASP for the supplier, which is in corner 2, and ASP for the buyer, which is in corner 3. The buyer becomes corner 4. The supplier becomes corner 1. So when they two share the details through the electronic mode to each other, finally, one of the invoice from each side goes to the FTA. I hope I am making myself understood. We will take a few cases so that it becomes more clear. Have I made myself understood till now?
Yes,
Going
friend.
on to the next slide.
Yeah.
Going on to the next slide. The regular VAT deducted invoice would have the supplier, the ERP one, which is the corner one, accredited supply, accredited service provider, which is corner two, the PayPal network, the buyer's ASP, corner three, the buyer, corner four, and FTA reporting, which is corner five. This is a normal. Now let's look at the reverse charge. Now, what is a reverse charge? Can anybody tell me? Would you like to unmute and speak?
Yeah, I would like to specify on reverse charge, madam. This is
Yes,
something like you are dealing with computers and a lot of other products as such. But for your own business, you have to use the computer for your billing purpose. So let us say the e-invoicing under the VAT regime, which was earlier done manually. So you are taking it out from your stock of what is to be sold, so that the VAT which was already paid on the inputs earlier has to be reversed so that you can capitalize it accordingly and use it. That is a reverse charge mechanism, according to me.
okay.
It's a
Now
captive
let's see.
consumption. It's a captive consumption, basically.
So if I give an example, maybe that would make it easier. So in a normal VAT, for example, a company purchases furniture from IKEA and charges 100,000 dirhams. 5,000, 5% is the VAT for normal charges. The bill comes to you for 105,000. So you pay the 105,000 and the 5,000 goes to your FTA. In the reverse charge mechanism, let's say mostly if it is applying to suppliers from outside of UAE, like services, okay, services having, say somebody gives an architectural service to a company here in UAE, but they do not have VAT. So they bill it at 100,000. Now, when the buyer receives this bill, if it is a normal process without the e-invoicing, the buyer would then have to now pay this particular tax to the government because it is devoid of VAT. So it will add the VAT to it and send it to the government. Now, because it is also paying on behalf of the supplier in their books, they will have to show input VAT, okay, which is recoverable in the terms of, and a self-assessed VAT, which they have to pay anyway. So this is how it will show, where it'll become nil in terms of this reverse charge. I want to talk even about self-billing. You know, self-billing happens in places where, in instances where you have agricultural produce, like a lot of agricultural farmers supplying produce to a Carrefour. And they already know, since the suppliers already know how much they're going to charge. Instead of, what the buyer does is it calculates the VAT. It calculates the VAT already, and the buyer will self-bill and pay this tax to the FTA. So in this manner, the who is the one who is in charge of paying the VAT is the one who is in the UAE. So either ways, when this becomes an XML invoice, the system is made in such a way that all these not normal cases, which is reverse charge or self-billing, there is a code that is identified by the ERP. If you can see that the reverse charge is identified in the ERP, generally there are ones and zeros, in areas where it is supposed to be identified by the ASP. So if the ASP receives this bill as a reverse charge and sees there is no VAT on it, it will make sure to tell the buyer that, look, you will have to create this VAT charge because I do not see it before it goes to the FTA. The problem is, once it goes to the FTA, this cannot be corrected. Then you will have to issue a tax credit note in order to reverse this charge. So I, not knowing much about these complications, which generally the ASPs will know, they are the best people to guide you. And you as consultants or as uh, yourself company owners will have to involve the ASP to let them know all the types of transactions and all the 16 use cases. Within the 16 use cases, what you will require from them to see that your system is aligned correctly to the way the PEPAL PINT AE is required. Now, let me also take you to the penalties, which is one of the important reasons why we must be in time to see that we appoint our ASP. We always feel that, yeah, we will be able to get through this. It's not going to, we have done this before. VAT came in 2018 and we were okay with it. The government allowed you a little bit more time. But this is not simply VAT. This is going to be an entire transformation. It's literally like a marriage. So it is going to take you time. It is easier said than done. And the penalties itself should raise an eyebrow for you to know that even a small error can become very expensive. Even if you take your time to go and select your ASP, but because your documents and your data points are not aligned, tomorrow you might get a lot of rejections and penalties, which are these. So if you implement the e-invoicing and appoint your ASP on time, there is no problem. So the penalty that is there is that it's 5,000 AED per month. So if you're supposed to have your ASP by the 30th of October and you do not, because you think that you are not within the ambit of the above 50,000 million, 50,000 AED, you will be in a problem where you will be paying this 5,000 per month. If you issue and transmit invoices within 14 days of making the transaction, it will be fine. But if it goes beyond 14 days, like a fortnight, then there is an AED 100 per document and the maximum of AED 5,000 per month. If you report the system failures within 2 working days, like suppose an ASP system does not work, and for 2 days it has not been working, you do not record it, then on the next day you will have to start paying 1,000 dirhams per day. If you update ASP with any registered data changes, there is no problem. But if you do not register your data changes with the ASP, then it's another 1,000 per day. The reason is because 1,000 invoices are being generated day after day after day. So there cannot be errors happening after you implement the ASP. The reason is, for example, let's take a company that shows 120,000 AED as its sales. 35 million is from one subsidiary. 40 million is from another subsidiary. 45 million is from another subsidiary. The sales that you need to understand is the consolidated sales, 120. But they think that their 3 companies do not come under the ambit. They continue. They do not fix an ASP by the 30th of October. Come November, you do not have much time between October and December to actually go on live. So your data is going to be accumulated. You're not going to be having your time to meet the exact data points you need. There can be so many issues that come your way. Maybe everybody's busy now closing books at the end of the year. So the urgency that I'm creating is because the penalties to follow are also extremely heavy. So let's keep in mind that these penalties are going to cost us a lot, though they look small. Now, why this urgency? Like I told you, since the ERP, the entire system change is literally being like a marriage, you will have to go to your in depth data, look at every bit of information, whether it is correct. You will have to keep time aside to see that first I clean what I have.
Yeah, Verna, uh, hello. Yes, yeah, you are unmuted, Verna, and also your video had freezed presentation also. Yeah, can you unmute yourself? Yeah, yeah, yes. So, yeah, now your presentation is visible. Let me spotlight you. Yeah, can you hear us, Verna?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Please, you can share your screen again. It went off.
Can you see it now?
It hasn't come yet. This must be loading. Just wait for 5 seconds. Not yet. Maybe try again. Yeah, now it's coming.
Okay.
Yeah, now it's
I'm
fine.
not. I'm not sure when did I go mute.
No, no, mute was okay. I think only the slide had not changed and your video had freezed. So penalties covered well. After that, you can start maybe.
Okay. Was this slide also audible?
The slide was audible, but it was not visible. Maybe
I see.
quickly you
Okay.
can go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. So just to give you all an overview, that this whole process can take anything from 6 months to 12 months. The reason I am actually putting this urgency is because most of us tend to remain lax. You know, your vendor selection is the ASP. If you know, as on today, there are more than 40 ASPs. If you want to make a choice, you will have to do a little bit of homework yourself. Mostly, you want to see that you select an ASP that is not only cost effective, but also will help you through a transition if you are expanding your business. So, given that need, you will have to start yesterday, not tomorrow. The testing and user training, let's not forget that. That is a very big and understated area where it is overlooked most of the time, and waiting for the right time to come or waiting to implement it will only make become mandatory, will then increase your cost and disrupt your business, because you'll have your closing months coming up, you'll have so many other things which will come absolutely unannounced. How are you going to manage doing this? So what I thought was, I had some 10 top questions every CFO must ask the ASP. First of all, you ask them, are you approved for the UAE framework? As you know, that all the ASPs that have lined up at the FTA are at the pre-approval stage. And only now will they be starting to get approved. But while you research on them, you also need to ask them this. Are you approved for the UAE framework? What do you mean by approved? So generally, they have to pass a 3 test. What are the three tests? They're technical testing, security testing, and a PEPAL conformance. Meaning all the mergers of the system should be so perfect that they should be able to give you the service immediately. Ask them, which ERP systems have you integrated with? Ask them, which industries did you specialize in? Whether it is automotive, whether it is service industry. As and when the need for it arises, certain ASPs will see that they specialize more in certain industries. So if that suits you, then you would go in for those. What implementation methodology do you follow? When they say implementation methodology, you would go mostly to how they are going to help you implement it. The first thing that they'll have to come to see you is do your profiling. Look at you, understand where you are, where you want to go. Then you also ask them, how will they manage any future regulatory changes? For example, how are they monitoring on a day-to-day basis anything which is coming up on the FTA so that you are not impacted? What is the average implementation timeline? Suppose they tell you, no problem, we will get it done within 15 days. I tell you, it's easier said than done. I would say always keep a buffer of 2 extra months because inside of your business, there is no stopping of work. But if they require your time, you will have to give them that much dedicated time to stop your work and actually flow through them in a sense that the time that they will require could be more than 15 days. What service level agreement do you guarantee? If there are certain things in their agreement that they guarantee, is what you need to see that you are safe, your data is safe, and you are compliant at all times. How do you ensure cybersecurity and business continuity? If they have a downtime, what kind of process or what kind of facilities they have to get you back? Sometimes people have a downtime of maximum 3 minutes, 2 minutes, 1 minute. How are they going to do this? Think about all of these because these are going to be your starting points to know how much time you require to sit with your business to do this introspection. Then what training do you provide? They will also have to train your staff because your staff will not know what is the new stuff that they need to understand. And let's not forget that everyone who has some change will always resist it. So the resistance to change is something you should not undermine. It is going to be a big factor. And finally, what is the total cost of ownership over 5 years? Because if you want to go with someone, you want a continuity. I also put forth a few questions that your approach should be in terms of the IT department head and the chief financial officer. So the CFO has understood what he needs to ask, but there are certain things he has to look inside of his company before he asks this question. The IT department, if you have an IT system, a department by itself, you ask yourself, is my company ERP compliant? Am I able to give exactly the XML content, data content? Does it support the PEPAL integration? Can I connect to an approved ASP? Can I meet the cybersecurity requirements within my organization? Do I have enough of backups with me of the data that I need to now go live with? Have I tested my environments? Are they capable enough? And do I have a disaster recovery capability? What if all my data just goes away? So if you have the IT department head handling this part, the accounts officer will have to see and ask the questions to himself, is my company data clean today? What do you mean by clean? For example, even small things like you mentioned A.B.C company limited is a supplier, where actually on the other side, your ERP shows ABC without a dot. So what is happening there? There is a difference in the way in which you write simple words, even the address, the TRN numbers, and everything that goes with an invoice. Is your data including duplicate customers? Like I said, A.B.C or ABC, it could be two different customers. Then do you have the incorrect VAT numbers double checked? Have you already corrected that? Missing addresses, have you verified if they are in place? So you can imagine if you have to go down to the very basic documentary check, that is going to be your master data, which is going to go forward to the ASP. And disaster recovery capability in terms of losing your own data. So these are all reflective images that you need to have before you set out tomorrow on Monday at your work. And after you have spoken to about 3 or 4 different ASPs, please invite them, let them come and show you what they can offer you. And after they have come and sat with you and told you about everything about your integration or how they could help you from whatever you have in terms of your data, please evaluate them. Evaluate which vendor is good for compliance, good for integration, ERP integration. Does it have local support? If I can scale tomorrow, does that ASP allow me to, within that system, have that scalability experience with them? What is their implementation experience? Have they worked with anyone before? And what is the customer service support they would give? These are very critical because you're going to rely completely on them. So if you do not ask them these questions or you do not have them in your mind, tomorrow you just might make a decision that you might have to change after a year. So we need to start early. Last but not the least, there is preparation of your own people. And the complete success for this is when technology and processes and people work together, then you will be able to have the exact flow of processes and invoices which need to go to the FTA in the right manner. But who would need this training? All of us, right? So starting with your finance, because invoices are generated there, the tax department, sales, procurement, customer service, IT, senior management, and internal audit. And the training topics would be, how would the new invoice look? What would the new invoice process be? What about exceptional handling? It's like not normal invoices. Systems navigation, how to navigate through the system. What are the regulatory environment, like how to keep tab on certain nuances. Customer communication, how are you going to communicate with your customer? And your business continuity. So where we have seen all of this, you need to have a plan in place. So the plan would go from month 1 to month 6, 180 days to be on the safest side. So the top, the CEO has to have a sponsorship, executive sponsorship program, like put aside an amount that you would like to invest in this. Put a project team together, like the IT, the accounts, come together and check your readiness assessment, because everything that starts within. If you check and see that you yourself need to correct a lot of data, then I think you already are aware of how things would go. In the month two, you check your ERP, check your master data, and clean it thoroughly, completely. Then vendor shortlisting. By the time in month one you start seeing vendors, in month two, you know exactly who you need. So if you start from today, say July, in August, you should be able to know whom you would like to appoint. In month three, you select an approved ASP, because then you have by then run into each other into 3-4 meetings, decided on whom you want to select. Solution data design, put a design in place that this is the solution we need. How are we going to get it? And project planning. You plan this project in a way that it will meet you before you start going live. In the month four, you integrate the process and you test it. And the user training would start in month four, because you need a good 2 months to see that all types of data, like few invoices of the supplier, few invoices of the seller, of the purchasers, they are also processed in a pilot manner to see that this pilot deployment shows you the mistakes you're already making without getting penalized. And issue a resolution. Like when you want a particular result, you will know that, okay, you made mistakes in ABC, you will need to correct ABC. These data points are not showing up, so we need to put them in place. And in month six, you do a full rollout. You do a KPI monitoring. You see whether you are able to get your invoices now without getting rejected. And once this happens, just look for continuous improvement. So you can see that if you take a 6 months time, you will be very safe, because a lot of things are going to come in the way which we don't know. As far as I'm concerned, I think I just took you through a practical process, because that is what I wanted to give you today. And to make it easy for you to remember this, I want to share something with you, which I have created. Is a song that I made just a half an hour ago with AI. Would you like to hear this song?
Yes, Verna, please. We have a lot of thumbs up.
Okay, thank you. Just give me a minute. Um, would it be possible, Prabdeep, to put the lyrics on the
Yeah.
chat?
Uh, okay. Okay. You have shared with me. I'll put that. You
Yeah.
continue with the song.
So I've made this song because this is a summary of the whole webinar. You don't have to remember. What you need to do is just, pep yourself up to start your process of getting ready for e-invoicing. So let me know if you can hear it. And the lyrics are on have you posted the lyrics, Prabdeep?
No, no, I'm posting it. Just give me a minute.
Sure.
Yeah, you want me to post that first, or you can
Yeah,
play
so
it?
that they can see it
Okay,
and they
okay,
can enjoy the lyrics as well.
okay. Just a moment. Uh,
I want to thank you all for staying with me. You know, being a newcomer in UAE is kind of intimidating for people who have roamed around the world but not knowing everything they need to know in UAE. And I've been like a learner, like all of you. And I look forward to being integrated more with the system and understanding things uh, firsthand. So if it's ready, I'm going to play the song for you. Please.
oh, yeah, sorry, I have some issue because my just maybe you can play it. I have some issue
Sure, sure, sure.
to enable it.
Sure.
Yeah.
So this song is Don't Drag Your Feet. Don't drag your feet because we do not have time left. And you need to keep in mind the PINT AE, where you have to keep your ERP, you require 6 months. It's all about telling you what to do tomorrow. So here it is for you.
It's not audible, Verna. Can you check the sound? I have posted the lyrics. Yeah, Verna, can you hear me?
Sorry?
Yeah, it's not audible actually. Can you check the sound and play again? I have posted the lyrics also.
Okay, now can you
Not
hear?
yet. Not yet. Not yet.
Okay, I think there's an issue then. I was ready with it though.
But yeah, but we checked it, no, in then earlier
Yes,
couple of times.
yes.
That time it was playing. Maybe you can restart it, just stop and share again.
Okay, I'll stop and share again. Yeah.
Yeah, it will play. It should play. Thank you, Raj. R-
Can you hear?
Not yet. Earlier, you had to do something, right? Additionally, you.
I kept it ready, but anyway,
Okay.
no problem. So it was
Okay.
basically a song that I made, in a flash because I like to also check out some AI integration and learn something new. So it was all basically about getting ready and how to plan your time. So I thank you very much, Pradeep, and I'm
Yeah.
open to any comments or any
Yeah, maybe
discussion.
you can share your contact details when if you wish to.
Yeah,
Maybe
sure.
you can
I
go to
will.
that slide because anyone
Yeah,
who needs the audio of that, they can message you.
sure.
And Raj had shared that he loved the lyrics, so thank you, Raj, for that.
Yeah, thank you. It was just like having fun on a Saturday morning. I thought most of the times we have the same old, serious topics, but I thought this would just lighten up a little bit for a Saturday morning.
Yeah, Raj, I think is asking. I hope it's not copyrighted lyrics, so it's open to use, right? When
Yeah,
this
yeah.
lyric.
You can please use it, no problem. Because it is made on a free, you know, uh, platform, so you're free to use it.
Yeah,
And
so right. If anyone has any questions, we have 5 minutes. Anyone can raise your hand or
I would
unmute
just
your.
like to share something, some
Yeah,
points, sir. Would it be
yeah.
okay? See, this is the
Yes.
sixth VAT e-invoicing session that I'm attending over the last few months over
Mm-hmm.
there. Recent About a month back in Oman, we had presentations by Morrison, BDO, and even Ernst and Young over there. The
Mm-hmm.
model which Oman has adopted is similar to what UAE is also going to adopt over there. So, like,
Mm-hmm.
what I would like to ask Varna madam is, what is the time limit from the time that you actually load an invoice and you get the response that it has been already approved by the tax ministry over there? What is
so,
the turnaround time?
yeah, that if I can answer that, see, the ASP has got a maximum 10 minutes to kind of turn around, maximum. So it should happen instantly. And if it doesn't within 10 minutes, then the ASP is also penalized.
Okay, but it could be because of technical glitches or something wrong in the communication or channel or something that's also
Like,
possible.
yes, because if you have any technical issues, you must notify that within 2 days. Like, I had put up the slide which showed that you are compliant as long as when you have had a problem with the ASP for 2 days, within 2 days, you must inform the authorities about it. So you stay compliant because it is not in your hands. However, the 10-minute time that is taken for the ASP to come back to you with the fully, what do you say, the transaction completely done is the rules that the FTA has actually set. So if they go beyond that, it means that they are not compliant. So they will be penalized for it.
Okay, so far in Oman, as such, only BDO and Ernst and Young have been given the option of without using the ASP that directly they can do that. The remaining of them they require accredited service providers. So far, 10 firms have been given the license to operate, especially the migration phase. The first phase is starting from 1st of September. The other phase is going to start from 1st of February, especially our companies, the large taxpayers. And then the other SMEs, they come only from September or October 2027. That is the current picture now in Oman. That's all from my side.
Okay.
Mr. Gopal, just a second. Mr. Gopal, your first question, what I heard was how much time tax authority is taking for approval. Tax authorities are not approving the tax invoices, for your information.
Okay, goes to the ASP, na, accredited service
It goes to,
providers.
it's only a courier type. I mean, it goes, the ASP is only act as a courier. It's not
Okay,
approving it. No, but no authority or no tax authority, UFTA is not approving the tax invoices. They're not
okay,
saying it's correct or whatever.
okay,
Ms. Verna, if you want to, I mean, clarify
Yes,
on that too.
actually, the FTA is only using this for their data analysis. So, to be able to understand their own country information, the economic information. So, they are not going to assess you. Ultimately, the assessment happens with when you are audited. But because of this e-invoicing, it is just going to help them enable data collection and analysis for their country.
Hello.
Yes,
Yes, please go ahead.
yes, Ravithan.
My name is Radish.
Ratish, yes,
See, you
please.
have mentioned that this, if it is less than 50 million, there is a certain date on which we have to register. Is it a B2B sales? I mean, B2B revenue we have to consider, or ultimate sales to customer?
This is a
Revenue.
B2B and B2G. B2B, B2G.
That's it.
B2C has yet to be announced.
Correct. Okay, fine.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, Vijay, you would like to say anything, Vijay? Or Dhaval, would you like to say anything?
Sarji, I
Yes,
have asked
Dhaval.
a question in which I'm asking
Okay.
that there are these tiny companies, I call them tiny companies, where it's just one person with probably one driver and receptionist, not more than that. And these people, uh, they don't even have an accounting system. I mean, most of them, they just make an invoice on Excel if they are the educated people. And the uneducated people who are still giving handwritten invoices, like so many spare part traders who are actually selling to businesses. How do they integrate with e-invoicing?
So, see, as far as I know, that the government would want to ultimately encompass within its fold every sort of person that is here. So integration with them, they have been allowed to even make manual invoices and upload it with the ASP at different intervals. Like you may do it once a week, you may do it 5 minutes in the day, every 5 minutes in the day. So I think when you talk with your ASP and explain that this is what is the minimum amount of requirement I have for now, but tomorrow I might scale or I might not scale, I might remain the same. These kind of clients have 2 or 3 options. So I think the first one would be to make the manually. Second one is to upload it themselves. And third is to do the API integration, where the
This is
invoices
great. This
are
is great. Thanks a lot.
minimum.
Dhaval, just to add on to that, Dhaval,
Ji, sir.
there are most of the ASPs, they are also giving you the Excel uploading
Yes,
facility.
yes.
Ah, that is nice.
Yes, because they are. I think the government, the system understands that there are people right from that kind of structure to a very complicated structure. So they have the Excel accounts that I know are very prevalent here is also going to be one of those areas where you can get the help.
Yeah, Excel is an accounting software for us, actually.
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
And Dhaval,
accountants.
the only thing is these type of businessmen or companies must ensure that whatever that 49, 51 fields that Ms. Verna was saying, they have to have all the fields readily available. You cannot leave anything blank.
Not leaving anything blank is an important angle. Well, makes sense. Something can be devised because Excel now has a feature to have forms. So you don't need to use macros to create those forms. And simple forms can be created by probably just good accountants for these tiny clients. And they just feed data and that gets automatically populated into one spreadsheet, which can then be used to link with the ASPs. Makes
Yeah,
sense. Makes sense.
thank you. Yeah, thank you, Dhaval. Yeah, thank you, Raj. Punita, you have raised your hand. Can you please unmute yourself? And
Yeah, good
yes,
morning and thank you for
yes,
such a lovely session.
yes.
I just had a suggestion. Maybe after this session, I just got an idea that maybe we could have a session on how do we offer this e-invoice readiness service to our very small customers or SMEs clients, so that we go through their systems and as you said, it is a 6-month timeline which you showed us today, Miss Varna. So,
Yes.
if we can offer a surveys like we have sanitization surveys for to understand VAT readiness. So, something of similar kind for to know whether they are e-invoice ready. Something, or it can be a service which we can offer. So, anything on the you can think
So you,
about Prabdeep sir.
Okay, okay. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We'll look
it's
into
a
it.
it's a good thought because that will really help them understand that they have to start to change.
Yeah, thank you. Anyone
Thank
else
you.
has any comment or a question? Thank you. Yeah. So thank you so much, Verna. So what would be your, before we sign off, what would be your last
I'm
message
just
for your
thankful to
audience?
you, Prabdeep, for
Okay.
inviting me. It is my
Yeah.
first webinar after very, very, very long time. And
Yeah.
being new to UAE, I was a bit nervous when I started off, but I'm glad to, be part of one of you and keep learning as we go along. Thank you for
Yeah.
hosting.
Yeah. So there are certain messages for the PPT. Can we share with the audience?
Sure, sure.
Okay, so you can share on the chat now, or you can share with me,
Okay,
and
I'll
I
share
can
it with
share.
you. Yes.
Okay, so those who need PPT, those are just message. You all have my number. You can message me. I'll send it over to you. And thank you for your kind words and seeing all the applause which has come. We had a great session. So I request everyone to please, before you leave, uh,
Thank you for being a little gentle with me.
yeah, no, we had a great time, great session. This is the
I'm only sorry that I couldn't put the music on. I was so excited to let you hear that, but yes, another time. I
yeah.
wish you
So
have
two times.
We should
No,
have
but in
another
fact,
enjoyable
two.
session from Verna, Pinto madam.
a.
Yeah.
No,
No,
I
I'm
would.
wondering, wondering that we tested it two times and still now it didn't work. Anyways, it happens. So,
Thank you so much.
so
Thank you so much
thank
for
you.
all your comments, your love, and your encouragement. And I hope you have a lovely weekend and a great week ahead. Thank you,
Thank
Prabdeep.
you. Thank you. Thank you to everyone. Have a good day. Take good care of yourself. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you.